So for the first time in nearly 6 months, Bitcoin has made a higher high. For the past 6 months, we've seen a structure of lower highs and lower lows the whole way down. This is the first higher high, which also establishes this low as a higher low right here. So this is the first time that this trend, this downtrend that we have been in for so long, is starting to change. This is the very first cracks of it. We would like to still see a weekly close above this level next. That would further confirm that this is a higher high. We also want to see a continuation of higher highs and higher lows. So even if we move up at this point, the next low needs to be higher than this previous low. That would show that this trend is changing and everything that we've been kind of predicting as in this election cycle and everything heading into this fall is on track. Now, if we look at this drawing that I had drawn out in August, it does appear that Bitcoin has been following this. This was based off of the 2012, 2016, and 2020 election cycles where Bitcoin kind of started to move up slowly into the fall, into the election. You've heard me say it so many times. And if we look back at this chart, this was November of 2012. We saw massive upside for Bitcoin after the election. This was November of 2016. We saw massive upside for Bitcoin after the election. And then this was November of 2020. And we saw massive upside for Bitcoin once again after the election. And right now, we are basically a month away now from the election period in November. And then from there, we'll see if history can repeat and we see this upside that we saw in the last 3 election cycles that Bitcoin experienced. Now, if we zoom in on the Bitcoin chart, there's 2 things that the Bitcoin bulls need to do. First, it's to maintain this 65K level that now that we've broken above it and closed above it. The next thing would be to make another higher high, which comes in around $70,000. So for the bulls, it's important to continue to push. It's not necessary that we get a higher high immediately. It is also possible we can come up to this range, maybe not break it immediately, and then put in another higher low before making another higher high. But now that we have established the first higher low and higher high, the trend is now changing and Bitcoin now has a lot of room below it that it can use to make the next higher low going forward. Now, if we look at the alts, I usually use the others charts, which is alts outside of the top 10 to look at alts. And we're currently seeing this massive double bottom for alts outside the top 10. We closed above and put in a higher high as well for others for the first time essentially in 6 months. This is huge for the alts to break above this. We held this range for a while and we end up doing a double bottom. So now I think that the alts will continue to see upside as long as this area is held as support. We could see a retest of it, but this is very, very positive news for the altcoin market that this is now breaking out. Many altcoins over the past few weeks have been seeing a lot of upside. All of my Patreons were given entries for all of these altcoins such as Sui, Phantom, FET, Tau, Sei, Avi, all before they broke out. So there has been a lot of success in my Patreon over the past few weeks. We caught the breakouts of a lot of the hottest coins. If you're interested, I have my Patreon right here. And if you're watching this on X, please watch on YouTube as well and make sure to subscribe. I usually post these videos first on YouTube and I appreciate all the support. Now, lastly, if we look at Ethereum, Ethereum needs to break through this $2,800 level to make a higher high. This would be very significant if it can break above, as I believe that Ethereum will provide a lot of liquidity to a lot of the altcoin market. So if we do see a break above this level, it would very much help a lot of the alts. But obviously, as we're seeing, the alts are already making a higher high. Bitcoin is making a higher high. So Ethereum is kind of lagging here, but we will see if it can break above this $2,800 level going forward.